33-year-old Anthony Mitchell died of hypothermia while in custody. And it's such a weird way for someone to die in jail that the physician who tried to treat him said, "I'm not sure what circumstances the patient was held in incarceration, but it is difficult to understand a rectal temperature of 72 degrees Fahrenheit while someone is incarcerated in jail."
Told you you'd find this interesting. Wild, right? A normal rectal temperature
It's like
is
98.
98.
Yeah.
If you don't understand, like, you guys are like thinking like, wait, your insides are never supposed to be that cold.
No. Listen, I'm telling you, if
But why
For
are
you-
you such an expert on this?
my dad was a whole ass nurse, so I could always
Okay.
ask him questions about everything. Everything that was like health related, I would ask him questions like for some stupid
So
reason.
stupid. I'm so dumb. I would like butt stuff. That's what I.
And I'm the juvenile one, right?
No. In my head, I'm like, must be butt stuff. That's why I imagine people who do butt stuff do.
It's
They
just-
just take
it's
thermometers and be like, ooh,
but
the booty's ready, your highness.
French cuisine, don't mind if I do. But the thing that
The
happened
baguette is ready for the
the
oven.
for you to be considered like feverish, you don't need to be. It's not 10 degrees. If you're at 37 degrees and that's your normal, or 36 right now, 38 is a fever. That's 2 degrees. If your body temperature is 2 degrees off, there's a big ass problem. No pun intended. But there's a big problem. Like if it's over, or if it's under. This, nah, B.
Nah.
That's not even. It's not the fact. It's someone froze some shit in your ass. Someone put.
Don't kill me.
Somebody put their lunch in your booty hole. That shit was so cold to keep it.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
I'm trying not to, but I'm just saying.
All right, so let's find out what happened. How did this man die this way?
And adding, the cause of his hypothermia is not clear. It is possible he had an underlying medical condition resulting in hypothermia. Do not know if he could have been exposed to a cold environment. But closing, I do believe the hypothermia was the ultimate cause of his death. Some of that mystery is being figured out after Mitchell's family filed a lawsuit against jail officials and workers, with it being alleged that Mitchell was actually thrown naked into a walk-in food freezer as punishment for giving the officers a hard time. Now, normally he can just get out of those freezers, but reportedly Mitchell was strapped to a restraining chair to keep him in place. And after hours there, they finally got him out, and he was obviously unresponsive, with him then reportedly dragging him naked throughout the jail before putting him in a patrol vehicle and driving him to the hospital. And at no point was an ambulance called. And the family apparently only knows so many of these details because a hero officer at the jail recorded the security footage on her phone and handed it to the family. And this is a story that should matter in general, but one that also especially matters with the United States.
Okay, it had nothing to do with butt stuff. My bad.
I want you guys to think about how fucked up that is.
Yeah, that you are in a jail and they put you in a fucking freezer
hey.
and you die of a hypothermia.
You know what? This is how normalized this shit is in my head. That's not even the fucked up part. The fucked up part is that somebody filmed it,
Yeah.
put it out to the family,
Yeah.
and she was called a hero.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
She did what police officers should do, which is take care of crime. And she was called a hero.
Yep.
These people killed this man because he was giving them a hard time. They threw him in a freezer like it was a mafia movie, okay? And they murdered him. Plain and simple. I mean, sorry, listen, just because it's not an oven or a gas chamber, don't mean it's not deadly. You guys would lose your goddamn minds if you knew it was a gas chamber. What's the difference? I'm sorry, but just the idea, the framing of this whole story is already absurd enough as it is. But people think it's heroic for a cop just to do the right thing, which lets you know the way people view policing officer work in general. Telling the truth, abiding by your oath is heroic. It's just interesting. You know, like if a doctor saves a life, nobody says he's a hero.
But
That's his job.
But the thing that happened is that the reason why she's a hero is because a man that was giving them a hard time, this is what they did to them. And that's a woman in the force, surrounded with men. What are they going to do to her if they find out that she's snitching on them? That's why she's a hero. No, her knowing all of this, knowing how if they got caught, this is not a first occurrence.
Wait, are you saying they might go after her for snitching?
Yes.
Are we talking about a criminal gang?
When there's a brotherhood, you don't go snitching on your people like that. Her, as a woman, if she would be done up. That's the reason why she is a hero, because she did all that thing and she might have got caught.
Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark.
No matter where I'm at, all right, whether it's in my house or in my Airbnb when I'm away or in
Antarctica.
Or even when I'm taking a shit, I need to have access to all my programs. Hey! But sometimes the internet doesn't allow me for that because it's restricted because of the area that I'm in. Yeah, and for that, I need a system that allows me to change my location. And that's called a VPN changer. Yes, and the wonderful VPN that I'm using is Surfshark. It allows you to just change the location of where you are, and so you can watch everything that you want, no matter where you're at. Right now with Surfshark, you can just use promo code ABBA and Preach, and you're gonna be able to have 83% off. Plus, there's a plus, 3 months extra for free. I know, crazy. Get on it.
The lawsuit filed by his family today names the sheriff and other personnel at that jail. CBS 42's Carly Lang's been going through that lawsuit, which includes some images from inside the jail. Carly.
In it, you can see Anthony Mitchell here in the orange being carried by personnel at the Walker County Sheriff's Office. His family, who calls him Tony, told me he ended up in the Walker County Jail after they called for a welfare check. Tonight, there's a lot of outrage about this video and the images that have come to light because of the family's lawsuit. We have that right here. As CBS 42 reported last week, this video contradicts the statement we received from the Walker County Sheriff's Office about Tony Mitchell's condition when he left the jail. That statement reads in part, quote, "The inmate was alert and conscious when he left the facility and arrived at the hospital." Now, as you can see in this video,
Before I even give you guys any of my opinions, I just want you guys to appreciate the only reason this got out is because one of the other officers told the truth about what had happened. Meaning all those officers committed perjury and lied about what had happened. They all lied about it, and it was a conspiracy, a very real one, in which they all forged a story in order to cover their own asses. And only another officer willing to put themselves at risk made this thing happen. Imagine all the times where this doesn't happen. If these guys threw this guy in for just being a disobedient person, they threw him in the freezer just for being disobedient. Imagine what else these guys have done, because you know it ain't their first time. Considering how many people die in jail and police custody, okay? Do you truly believe this is their first time potentially killing somebody? The way that they so effortlessly lied and all helped cover it up. Do you think it's their first time? Mind you, these are not violent criminals. When you're put in jail, this is not a prison. This is jail. This is sometimes where you get held when you don't have bond to even go to court. This is sometimes where you go when you have a DUI. This is sometimes where you go when you're under suspicion of certain things. This is a jail, not prison. You know when they say, if you have nothing to be afraid, just don't resist and go with the officer. This is what happens at that place. So appreciate the fact that this is a story, but it's actually an indication of a larger issue.
What's the bigger issue? That cops are human? Yeah, they are. They are human. Yep, very much human. As much as there are people in business places that have power trips, they have power trip. They actually have powers. Shit, they got guns. Yeah. The trust is done. More and more things like that are coming out.
Tony Mitchell appears limp and unconscious. Claims made in this lawsuit give a closer look at what his family believes happened to him during his 2 weeks in the Walker County Jail. That's where he had been in custody since his arrest on January 12th. According to court documents, Mitchell froze to death. The lawsuit states he arrived at the hospital with a body temperature of 72 degrees. And this lawsuit claims Mitchell was likely placed in a restraint chair in the jail kitchen's walk-in freezer or similar environment and left there for hours. This lawsuit also details graphic and disturbing details about Tony's last days of life. claiming he was tased, neglected, put in a freezer, and left for dead as officers and staff ignored his medical needs. Now, screenshots from jail surveillance video show Mitchell on the floor, naked in what appears to be an office. That suit claims Mitchell was left for 5 hours as numerous corrections officers and medical staff, quote, wandered over to his open cell door to spectate and be entertained by his condition, end quote. Now, that suit also praises the bravery of a corrections officer who has since been fired for taking the video and sharing it.
Hold on. Do you see what the fuck I was telling
That
you?
is disgusting.
When I told you the reason why she was called a hero?
This might be one of the most disgusting things I've seen cops do.
But do you know? Do you understand now?
They spectated while this man was freezing.
Yeah, but do you...
Like he was a piece of steak that they pulled out of the freezer and watched thaw. Disgusting.
Now, do you understand why I said she was a hero? Because she lost her job.
And I want y'all to appreciate this is a wrongful death lawsuit, meaning there may not even be charges pressed against any of these fucking despicable people.
No. And the person that actually said something lost their job. Did you hear that shit?
Bruh.
Now you understand why I say that shit. So the person that actually did the right thing, that actually went there, sacrificed a whole lot. And that's we don't even know if her life is going to be in jeopardy. These people are not going to do something to her whenever she's going to be outside or whatever, whatnot. You know how it is. Gangs moving gangs. You know what I mean? So, and that person lost their job. Why did they lose their job? Why? Because they didn't go through protocol, and they didn't go through the supervisor to give, well, you know, this is a problem, this is happening. No, you went the other route, you're going to lose your job. But they're probably not even going to be charged, bruh.
Hey, listen.
So yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, she's a hero.
Anytime y'all here to protect and serve, you ask yourself, who? Who?
I've been saying that.
And don't get me wrong, there's people in these positions who want to do the right thing.
But that's not their work.
Maybe they do, and they get fired. Or maybe they can't, because if they do, they'll get ostracized. Or maybe they'll end up in the freezer next.
But that's
okay?
not...
So you have to understand, it ain't even matter of every individual involved. It's about the whole apparatus as a whole.
Yeah.
It is meant about to function in a self-preservation manner. And that's against the benefits of the people it's supposed to serve. So when I watched it, hey man, y'all try to tell me that ain't one of the most disgusting things y'all ever heard. They put this man in a freezer like a mafia movie. That's crazy.
And they watched him after that.
And they enjoyed it. They were entertained.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.